Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
Today we're going to be talking about 1981's Hell Night.
A movie that truly lives up to its name.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Smokey ain't got no real poetry.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love funny games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
You could have been decent once in a while. And maybe Daddy would have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creepy.
So we are now in, what is this, the fourth week of Blairvember out of 5.
We are nipples deep into Blairvember right now.
Aren't you so happy? We picked an entire month of Linda Blair movies to cover.
Yeah.
All have been just varying degrees of classic,
Yeah.
wouldn't you say?
I'd say different, varying degrees of polish.
So I was telling Molly earlier
Yeah.
from the Roller Boogie episode, now that I've seen a month full of Linda Blair movies, it's very interesting to see her different approaches to acting. And I would say it really depends on how much she gives a shit about the movie.
Really? Because it can go either very reactionary or just very proactive, like Brenda in Savage Streets. Where
Yeah.
then you have like a chain heat roll where she just is just the victim.
Yeah.
But everything just happens around her, just like Hell Night. Everything just happens around
You
her.
have Hell Night where I'm not even sure she thought she was in a movie at some point.
No.
Like,
No, she was on her way
acting
to
is real.
some LARPing events in that outfit, and next thing you know, she's trapped in a house.
this is where I would usually say, let's take a listen to the trailer. But we're not going to listen to the trailer for this movie. It is 3 minutes long, and basically it's just clips from the movie. That's it. No song,
narration.
no narration.
Yeah.
It just cuts to basically the highlights of the movie. If you want to see the movie in 3 minutes, just go watch the trailer.
Why didn't we just?
From
Why didn't we just do that?
guessing from Chris's reaction, he would have preferred that to watching the whole movie.
Yeah.
So let's do some grind business.
Oh,
though.
okay. Grindbiz.
So we've talked about him before. He's only recommended the, I would say now, a third worst movie we've seen on this podcast, which was Lunchwagon. Our good friend David, all the way from Australia, has a special message for you and I, and for all the Grindbin listeners, about his upcoming contributions to the website,
right.
grindhousefilm.com.
Great.
So let's take a listen to David's special message, Chris.
Hello, fellow Grindbinners. My name is David, and I'm a friend of the show from Perth in Western Australia. It's very sunny here. I just wanted to ring in and say that I'm working on a feature film at the moment, but as soon as I'm finished with that, I'm going to start posting a whole bunch of reviews on the website under the new review section. I'll probably focus mainly on Australian grindbin and exploitation flicks from the same time period as the boys do. Hopefully you'll get something out of it, and if not, I don't really care. I also just would like to beg you all to write your congressman and please get some sort of law passed to stop Americans from doing Australian accents. Seriously, it's abominable. Even the best actor you have, probably, arguably of all time, can't do an Australian accent. Meryl Streep can't even do an Australian accent. So if she can't do it, none of the rest of you should be allowed. So please, as I said, get it stopped. There is hire an Australian. We're everywhere. Anyway, thanks for listening to the show. And if you want to abuse me in the comment section, go for it. Bye for now.
I have no idea what he means.
All right, David, thank you for that message. Throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Oh, boo-hoo, Doctor Who.
You called out a knife. I think we should do the whole episode in Australian, but we won't. We'll save you, David. Thank you, and go ahead and check out grindhousefilm.com. We post blogs for every episode, and we do some movie reviews as well, but there's going to be more coming, so check it out. And we got another contributor as well who will be contributing during the holiday season, our good friend Chuck. He's got something planned that I think everybody's going to like. So, shall we get into the movie today?
Head first.
The Hellacious Hell Night, Chris. Made, obviously, during the slasher craze of the early 80s and mostly forgotten. I would say it's a good hodgepodge of multiple different ideas. I was trying to tell somebody today basically what it was like if you took Friday the 13th, Halloween, and Hills Have Eyes and kind of just threw them all together in a blender throw in a low-cut top, you got yourself a movie.
Yeah, this is the quintessential throwaway horror genre film right here. I mean, this gets it wrong where the roommates got it right, and the roommates wasn't even trying to be anything.
Yeah,
I don't know what the roommates was trying to be, but every film should aspire to be the roommates, not this. This is a film where the poster is actually cooler than the actual film.
It's a good poster.
Yeah.
Roger Ebert agrees with you, Chris. 1-star review for this movie. Now let's get into the cast and crew here. The crew, Grindbin All-Star.
Yeah.
Tom DeSimone, responsible for one of our least favorite movies we've ever covered, Chatterbox. God, we should have been warned, but we can't just... I have to say, if I say the words Grindbin All-Star, there's a 90% chance it's going to suck, because that's the running theme with this.
Yeah.
If you want to hear all about Tom DeSimone, check out our Chatterbox episode. There's a lot, and our Savage Streets episode, because he was supposed to direct that movie. He's got a lot of interesting stuff. The writer for this movie, Randy Feldman, who's credited as Randolph Feldman.
Yeah.
9 writing credits. Now, this is where it gets interesting, Chris. Would you expect this man to write bigger or smaller movies than Hell Night after this?
I'm going to say smaller, but for some reason it's going to be bigger.
1989, Tango and Cash.
Boy.
He wrote the movie. 1993, Nowhere to Run with Van Damme, and 1997, Metro, starring Eddie Murphy. He also co-produced that. He is still writing and about to direct his first movie, Know Your Enemy.
Can we cue the soundbite of Kurt Russell going, you know what? This really fucking sucks. From Tango and Cash.
Yeah. Bruce Cohn Curtis is the producer of this movie. Lots of horror films over the years. 33 credits. Read a few to you. All these are producer credits. 1969, Otley. 1977, Chatterbox. 1977, Joyride. 1979, Roller Boogie. 1981, Hell Night. 1984, Fear City. 1984, Dreamscape. And 1987, Dolls. His last credit was in 2004. Mark L. Rosen, the other producer of this movie, passed away in 2012. He was only 65, but he also produced quite a bit. 35 credits, starting in 1972. Uncredited as the executive producer, Blackula. 1977, Meat Cleaver Massacre, also uncredited on that one. But here you go, 1978, he produced Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Right on.
1982, The Concrete Jungle. 1983, Chained Heat.
Yeah!
1997, he produced the movie Spice World, which I was surprised with, considering his other movies. He started doing documentaries, and his last credit was in 2008. Get into the cast here. Linda Blair. No intro
introduction
needed.
necessary.
Go
no.
listen to Savage Streets.
Nope.
We love you, Linda. We love you, Linda.
Blinda.
Yeah, Blinda. We hope that you'll come on this show one day, Linda.
I don't think so after this.
I gotta say, all right, I'll say it now. Blairvember has been such a rousing success for this show, and I mean, not in terms of the quality of the movies, mind you, not at all. But our listenership has gone up quite a bit for some reason this month. And we'd like to announce that Blairvember will be a recurring theme on this show. There will be a second annual Blairvember. And trust me, there's plenty, because Linda has, 50 movies worth of junk to cover.
Yeah, I mean, look at any dumpster. You'll probably fish one out anywhere you are in the world.
It was hard not to cover certain movies. Like, we have a bunch that we wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
That are still sitting on the sidelines. By the way, we've seen none of them, so when we pick one, we go in blind, and you've seen the results.
Hey, you get something like Night Patrol.
But let me tell you, though, next week's, it's a gem.
Oh, yeah?
I really liked it.
Are we announcing that, or is that going to be a surprise?
We'll say it at the end.
Okay.
Or if you go to grindhousefilm.com, you can always tell what next week's episode is going to be, because I post a trailer there every week.
Yes.
So, Vincent Van Patten. Seth, now that name Van Patten must sound familiar to you, Chris. Well, he is not a Grindbin All-Star. Boy, his brother and his father are. He is the son of actor Dick Van Patten and Pat Van Patten. Dick Van Patten made an appearance in Lunchwagon. He was that old man that had the seizure or the stroke right there when he was on the phone when they told him, your Aunt Emma died and left you all this money. He goes, hap, 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 and then just walks away and gives away his Lunchwagon. He is also the brother of James Van Patten, who is also in Lunchwagon and in Roller Boogie, and in the next Linda movie we're covering. So there is a hint for next week's movie.
Yeah, a Linda streak. This guy's got.
James Van Patten just keeps showing up in these movies for some reason. He just won't die. But his brother, Vincent Van Patten, believe it or not, before an actor, was a professional tennis player during the 1980s. The highest he ranked was 41st in the world, which is pretty impressive in 1981. So the year this movie was released. He is well known today, though, for being a commentator on the World Poker Tour. He hosts the show. Never watched that, but
no, it's strange.
Done like 100 damn episodes of that show. He has 60 acting credits, lots of TV in the 70s, some movies, 1979, Rock and Roll High School, 1985, Gidget Summer Reunion, and 1991, Payback, but not the Payback with Mel Gibson, the Payback with Michael Ironside, which I had no idea was a movie.
No.
He's still acting in a few things, mostly doing the poker shit. Peter Barton, Jeff Reed, 21 acting credits, mostly known for a stint on The Young and the Restless, then Sunset Beach. He's a soap opera actor. He was thinking of retiring from the film industry, Chris, until Linda Blair coaxed him into doing Hell Night.
Fatal mistake.
And he now credits that film with bringing him back. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, we'll find out. He's starting a show called The Power of Matthew Starr. And during this show, he was badly burned when a stunt went wrong on set during 1982, and production was delayed for a whole year while he healed.
Oh
from
my
those
God!
burns.
Do you know what the problem was? What the accident was?
Oh, he was burned.
Yeah,
he's coming out looking like what's that Sam Raimi movie with Liam Neeson, Darkman or something?
Oh
right?
yeah.
He's running around looking like Darkman with a cloth over his face. It was a real tragedy.
Yeah, a real mess on their hands.
Yeah. I just wrote down one of his movie credits. The other movie I saw, 1984. This one keeps coming up. He was also in Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which like every goddamn movie somebody. Every movie we've covered on this podcast, there's somebody in that movie for some reason. Eventually, I guess we're going to get the whole cast of Dead Meat on the show. Kevin Brophy, this is the last one I have for the credits here, who plays Peter. 34 credits, Chris. 1980, The Long Riders. 1982, The Seduction. 1982, Time Walker. 1989, Easy Wheels. Now, I wrote down the description for you. A group of leather-clad bikers are on the trail of the female bikers who are stealing babies all over the state and selling them on the black market. Sounds like a real winner, huh?
Is it a way out? That's like what you buy those, Truck Stop of America's DVD bargain bins.
The cover looks like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just got like fire. Like, all right, so you want to know a truck stop background? You just throw on some fire, like some sort of fire picture, close up.
Yeah.
And then put like a lady with a low cut top on it, kind of gradient her in there, like fade her in there.
Bevel and embossed font.
Yes,
Photoshop.
yes. Make sure you have the outline on it, and it's probably in that like chiller font.
And and a drop shadow for sure.
Yeah,
really.
Oh, God help you.
Opacity,
if you have no drop shadow.
Opacity at 100.
Yeah. A hard shadow. 1993, Fearless. In 2012, he was in some movie called Book of a Thousand Deaths. So I got some trivia for you. Quite a bit of trivia about this movie, believe it or not.
I believe it.
A lot of it's interesting, though. Majority of this movie is shot in 3 locations. The outside of Garth Manor was shot in a mansion in Redlands, California.
Oh, no way.
The inside was filmed in a residential home in Pasadena, California. And the frat party was filmed in an apartment lobby in Los Angeles. The mansion used as Garth Manor is now a museum in the Redlands. And the owners made the change from private residence to a museum shortly after filming was completed. Chris and I will eventually be going out there and doing a little tour of that house.
Yeah, live broadcasts.
Chris is going to dress up in Linda's outfit.
I will.
And I will dress as the man with the parrot on his shoulder.
You're going to be the Robin Hood?
No. I'm not doing that pencil mustache shit. Get out of here. The filmmakers had a hard time with the owl that was supposed to fly directly at the camera. You remember that brief scene?
Yeah.
They couldn't get the bird to do it, so they just gave up and just said, fuck it. It flew close enough. Cut. I can only imagine them spending a whole fucking night doing that.
Yeah, that sums up the process of this entire film.
I can't wait to tell you how long it took to film this shit. The scene where Peter is thrown down a flight of stairs and hurts his legs didn't require much acting because he actually did hurt himself, and he was limping for some of the rest of the movie because he was in extreme pain. Future director Frank Darabont of, oh my God, Shawshank Redemption
No.
fame and The Mist. This is one of his earliest film credits. He was a PA on this movie.
Humble beginnings, huh?
He should have been like, yeah, Mr. DeSimone, I'll take the camera for you. This is unofficial trivia. This is where Frank Darabont got the idea to do Shawshank Redemption.
How?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding around. I've just made that up.
Well, they are trapped. They can't get out. I mean, people are dying.
Yeah, he's like, all you need is Clancy Brown in a prison, and you got yourself a movie.
No.
All right.
Linda Blair couldn't find a way out.
Okay, this is the weirdest thing I have on here. An obsessive fan of Hell Night actually left the lead stars Kevin Brophy and Peter Barton his entire estate of $1 million in 2013 because he had no family or friends, and he's a big fan of this movie, so he just said, fuck it. Give it to those Hell Night kids, and they inherited all his money.
I have no words.
Filming took, what do you think?
Oh, God. I'm going to be wrong either way. It looks like it was done in 3 weeks.
Close, 40 days.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
Not just a weekend? So let's get into the movie here. We start out real strong, Chris. Just a shot of a screaming girl, which, by the way,
Cold
if you
open.
have your speakers turned up real loud,
Rest in
or
peace.
headphones on, good luck.
In memory of all those who wore headphones.
This is as loud as the movie gets, by the way. It's literally the loudest point in the entire movie is the first frame. And we see like this giant bonfire party going over these credits. It's just a big frat get together, a real Animal House type situation here. And we're just going around this party for a while, right? This big frat party, and I write for Tom DeSimone. There's already a severe lack of boom mic in this movie. I haven't seen one yet. And I wonder if I will.
I was like, I thought the toilet paper was hanging from it at one point, because I swear in one scene, I was like, is that a lampstand or the boom?
Oh, you saw Boom?
I thought I did, but
you
it
know
was
what?
like...
I didn't see Boom, and I was really disappointed, because I was hoping our old friend from Chatterbox, Mr. Boom Mike, was going to make an appearance, but I didn't see him.
Quick cameo.
Yeah, quick little cameo. 4 years off of Chatterbox, by the way, into this. The quality was up, so I'll give him that. He forgot to bring lights, though. That was a problem.
Well, there are lights in certain places where there shouldn't be, and we'll get to that.
Oh, God. I got a lot of problems with this movie.
Me
I
too.
just can't wait to get into them, because I got a lot of questions for you, Chris.
Good.
So we go around this party, and this guy Peter, he's like hitting on some girl, but then he sees Linda come in, and she catches his eye. He's like, "Oh, who's that girl?" And then, by the way, this is going to go nowhere, which is very interesting. Let's just keep this in mind. So Peter, he's got his eye on Linda. We think, oh, here's the budding romance. And Linda's standing next to some cave girl. I don't know her name. I just call her Cave Girl. And she's just like, "Oh, that's Peter. He's the president of the fraternity. He's apparently very into this Hell Night.
Yeah.
It's his favorite night of the year."
Exposition like cellophane.
Okay. And apparently Linda's one of these pledges, and they're going to go through this hellacious night called Hell Night, and we're going to find out what that entails very soon. And I wrote, at this point, nothing really happens for another 5 minutes or so. We just kind of wander around and watch people drink beer and throw kegs, and that's about it.
And it's sad that it's going to set the precedent of pacing for the rest of this film.
Oh, the pacing in this movie. Yeah. So then we go to, there's this drunken caravan of people all driving over to this mansion. And I mean, like a fucking covered wagon train type caravan.
I don't know, like I picture like Secret Service like running alongside like JFK's inside or something.
So we have like, everybody drives a fucking convertible for some reason, and they have like torches.
Yeah.
Like literally like, like they're going fucking spelunking or something in like the 1800s. They got these goddamn torches.
Where's the pitchforks?
It's like, everybody heard of a fucking flashlight? Like, what are you doing?
It's the ritual aspect of it.
By the way, I'm just going to say, they stay at this haunted house. Only one flashlight in this whole movie, which is like, for fuck's sake, prepare yourself, you know? Get some batteries, get some flashlight. Somebody brings a fucking radio. and plenty of booze and pills, but nobody thought to bring a flashlight.
No.
So they're driving all drunk. They get to this castle or some shit, is what I write. And then this guy, Peter, shoots the lock off with a gun.
I love that.
So they pull up, and instead of keys, he's just like, they're like, oh, it's locked. I guess we can't get in. And he pulls out like a fucking revolver.
Yeah, he goes the John Wayne route.
He's like, oh, this gate is locked, eh?
Not on my watch.
By the way, I got a big problem with this gun coming up.
Uh-huh.
So he shoots the lock, and okay, so basically we see like a whole 5-minute scene of where they're just walking through this manor, and he tells everybody all this exposition. And okay, so he's going to give away the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
There's no twist in this movie.
Nope.
Spoilers, no twist. Not one. Not a single one. What he says is, yeah, there's some guy that used to live here, and he had a, quote, mongoloid boy. And all I can think is, they really needed Devo's mongoloid playing under this part, you know?
Yeah, an instrumental version. John Carpenter scored Mongoloid.
So they, you know, if they had a John Carpenter mongoloid in this movie. All right, Chris, so do that while I'm explaining. So he says he had this mongoloid boy and a deformed girl and then some third child or some shit, but we can't really understand. Okay, so he says this, Chris, he goes, one of the kids was deaf and dumb and blind, like the pinball wizard. And the other one was like a mongoloid boy and a deformed girl, as he said, that was so ugly she looked like a man. And then he says that the dad eventually went crazy because he was only married to a woman spitting out mongoloid children, that he brought the family out for a picnic and murdered them all one by one and then hung himself from a tree. But then he says something about how the youngest boy's body was never found, and he must have witnessed it all, and apparently he lives in this house. And I write at this point, you know what? This movie's not smart enough. I bet that's the fucking killer. I bet there's no twist in this. I write this in the beginning of the movie. I bet there's no fucking twist. It's obviously the, quote, mongoloid boy that's doing all the killing. Well,
If they wanted a real twist, it would have been Linda Blair going psychotic, doing the killings, like in a real high tension scenario, you know?
If this movie ended with Linda doing a quote mongoloid impression. Oh boy.
I can see the prosthesis now.
So Peter, the leader of this frat, breaks into the front door of this house and he brings everybody in. And I write immediately what pisses me off about this: hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lit fucking candles.
Thank you.
I just write, who lit these?
Thank you.
And I'm okay. If you do anything, just watch the first 10 minutes of this movie and just see the amount of candles in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking hours and hours and hours of preparation.
I think I have a theory. So the house has already been set up for this night. There's, we're going to get into it later, but there's our speaker systems. There are little traps, booby traps. So they could very well have gone in before, rigged it up, lit all the candles and left, and then locked it behind them.
Chris, there are so many candles in this house. It's like made of fucking wax. Like it is literally a wax fucking house.
Yeah.
Every table is covered in, not even candles, mind you, like melted candles that have become a candle mountain.
It looks
with like multiple wicks sticking out at points.
It looks like someone detonated a bomb at a sperm bank. That's what this house looks like.
It's just splattered everywhere. And just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of candles and candelabras. And it's like you're walking into the fucking haunted mansion at this point. It's just ridiculous.
This is where the budget went, not for scripts.
Candle budget.
Candle budget was through the roof.
Okay. So he basically says, like, you can stay in any room you want. And we'll get you in the morning. And then they just leave 4 people. And I write, so here are our players. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Before he leaves, Peter says the only way out is to shoot your way out. And he gives them the gun, and then he locks the gate, and he says they'll be back at dawn. And we've left with our 4 players, Chris. And I don't know their names, so I just write Linda, Robin Hood, a flapper, and Wyatt Earp. This is what we have in this movie, okay?
Oh yes.
So, by the way, what the fuck is Linda dressed as? I can't understand if she's like a pauper or a druid or
No, she's some like
low cut druid. Like I don't know.
1800s brothel attendants, I think.
About halfway through this movie, I started to theorize on my theory of how it actually got made. I won't get to it yet, but they go into the house, all right, and the flapper has brought Quaaludes and Jack Daniels and some mini radio thing, right?
In other words, the only smart one in the group.
But okay, so this is 1981.
Yeah.
And she goes like, and I brought music. And she
Where-
brings out like a fucking James Bond size radio.
No, it makes no
I'm like,
sense.
what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah.
She pulls it out of her bra.
Yeah.
It's this small. It fits in the palm of your hand, and it's a radio.
But in the sound quality of that would be like if you scraped a nickel on like a can of tuna on the lid. That's what the sound quality would
But
be.
it is that sound quality
Yeah,
even in the
it is.
movie.
Yes,
Because she
it
goes,
is.
I brought some tunes, and then it plays, and it's like, like that's as much
All
as
you
you can
hear
hear.
is like a lot of mid-range and some high-end, and that's all you get. It's like scratching.
And by the way, I got a lot of fucking problems with the audio of this movie, but which we'll get to.
All right.
So her and Robin Hood, they run upstairs because Robin Hood's all like, "Oh, well, this chick knows what's up. She's
Yeah.
bringing the drugs and the booze." And I read at this point, I was like, "Do Quaaludes and Jack Daniels mix?" I think that's like a Heath Ledger cocktail there. And I'm not sure that's a good idea.
One Heath Ledger on the rocks, please.
By the way, the people in this movie not very smart.
No.
So yeah, Heath Ledger on the rock. Jesus Christ. Okay.
The people in this movie, the people that made this movie, come on, not very smart.
So Wyatt Earp and Linda, they go into this room, and they light a fire. But there's like 100 candles lit.
Why are they lighting the fire? Are they
every-
roasting marshmallows?
By the way, not just the entryway has candles. Like every room is so fucking well lit. It's insane. Like all these candles, and candles.
This movie should have ended with just a pile of ash and skeletons.
At this point, I would like to imagine or have seen a scene of Peter and okay, so his lackey I call Parrot Boy.
Yeah.
Because there's this man that wears a
An eye patch and a...
like he's a parrot on his shoulder
Yeah.
the whole movie, like and thankfully it never disappears.
Yeah.
Even in the most inopportune times.
I think it's
this
even
parrot's
credited in the credits.
So I'd like to have seen a scene where Peter and Parrot Boy go around and light every candle.
The parrot has like a match in its beak, and he like kind of dips down like.
Yeah, do you think you
Like, yeah.
put the match on the parrot's mouth? And Peter's getting all mad. He's like, "We got a lot of work to do."
He's talking so mad.
So Linda's lighting more candles because why fucking not? Why fucking not? And they just talk about some shit. Nobody cares. So then we we go to Robin Hood. Okay, so Robin Hood he shoots an arrow through a painting of Larry David in this room. This guy, I'm not kidding, looks like Larry David or maybe Larry David's father or something, or his great grandpa. It's a painting of Larry David.
Yeah.
So he shoots him right through the head. And then, okay, all right, a drunk man with pills and an arrow is a bad idea. No. But then he makes it worse because what does he do, Chris?
Well, I know he starts taking his clothes off.
Well, no, okay. So with the arrow, he shoots the flapper right in the ass.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's a real fucking arrow, guy.
okay.
What do you?
Okay, so we know the arrow can go through the canvas. And
Like,
why
it's
is it-
hard through the
yeah,
canvas,
Yeah,
by the
why
way.
is it not piercing human skin at this point is my
Yeah, because
question.
he pulls this thing back and he goes, ah, and like shoots it right
like
in her
at
ass.
full tension, let her rip.
I was like, this movie's going to start out interesting. The whole night's canceled because Flapper got an arrow up her ass.
Yeah.
So that would have been a more interesting movie, I think, in some ways.
Yeah.
So okay, so she's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, and he runs over to the bed, and he's like trying to get busy, and she's like, oh, no, what's your name? And So Robert gets all pissed. He's like, "Oh my God, you brought me up here and now you want to fucking talk?" And I write, "Oh boy, I smell a martyr in the making here."
Real nailed to the cross tonight.
Okay, yeah, here it is. The direct quote: "You brought me up here all hot and heavy, and now you want to talk?"
Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, like, just put your mouth on it.
So he goes, something about, she's like asking him like, "Oh, I want to, tell me about how to surf." And then he like surfs on top of it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Goes on for another 3 minutes or so. And then we go outside and a car pulls up, Chris, and Peter and his two lackeys. So as I write, cave girl, because one of the girls is dressed like a cave girl.
Yeah.
And parrot boy. These are our two,
the puppeteers of this house macabre.
the Imagineers, if you will.
Imagineers.
So basically, they're gonna like fuck with these pledges, right? So they're no surprise. They're gonna mess with them while they're in this manor for the night, because they can't just let them have a peaceful night. Boy, they gotta make this a hell night.
Yeah.
So Linda and Jeff, they're just talking about nothing for a while, and then Linda. Okay, so basically, this scene, Linda just says she made a deal with the sorority president about giving them notes or something, and she'll get to use a car. And I just write, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. And then she says something about how the car is fine, but it like needs work, but that's okay because I know how to work on cars. I'm a mechanic, and I just write, wonderful.
Yeah.
I wonder if this will come into
plant
play.
and payoff for we're planting that one real deep, real deep.
So all of a sudden, Chris, they hear a lady scream, and everyone in the house is scared, and they run upstairs to go check it out. And this is the first time we see the Imagineer Peter.
Yeah.
Like, he works for the fucking Haunted Mansion at Disneyland. He's got some, like, giant
control panel. Like little, like, NASA lights and everything. And
so the late cave girl wasn't wrong in that Peter takes this Hell Night a little too seriously, because he's rigged this house like some sort of, like I said, like a ride at Disneyland.
Yeah.
He's got like little switches that do sound effects and stuff.
Yeah.
And so basically they find a speaker and they're like, oh, they're trying to mess with us, and that ends. Peter's all mad because they turn it off, and he goes to find Cave Girl and Parrot Boy, and they're working on some like giant electronic contraption or something.
Yep.
Well, what this does...
We never saw it implemented, do we?
Okay.
Because I wanted like a rocket to take off through the roof. Like Sputnik comes out.
So basically Cave Girl gets mad for some reason, and then Parrot Boy... Oh yeah, okay, this is great. Parrot Boy calls her a, quote, twat.
Yeah.
And says they should have left her behind, which opens the door for Peter to say, why? Her behind is the best part. Mm-hmm. We should have kept her behind and left the rest of her.
Oh. Do you think that was from the...
Real chatterbox.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was like a leftover... Like, that was a piece of script that fell out of the Xerox machine when the PA was delivering it, and that one just got left behind.
Oh, God. A lot of these jokes in this movie, real chatterbox material.
Yeah.
So then we see, like, Cave Girl. She just goes and spies on Linda and Jeff, but then all of a sudden some monster thing grabs her, and she gets pulled into some hole, and her head gets chopped off.
That was decent enough. I was like, oh, finally, someone's dead. This isn't just, we're jerking off to sounds and lights, and things are happening.
Yes, things are in motion.
Yeah. Planes aren't landing, but things are in motion.
So Linda and Jeff hear some more screams, and then so Jeff is the man's name. I found out his name. It's Jeff. That's Wyatt Earp. He hangs out with Linda the whole movie.
Yeah, and Seth is the surfer guy.
But we're just gonna call him Robin Hood.
Yep.
So Jeff and Hood, they go outside to check it out. Okay, I love this part though. All right, got multiple problems with this part. So Linda's in a room by herself.
Yeah,
and like all of a sudden some wind comes through and it blows out like the fireplace and these lights. Linda, in literally the softest voice possible, goes, Jeff, is that you? Like, you can't even hear her. She just goes, Jeff, is that you?
Jeff, is that you?
I'm like, I can barely hear you, Linda. There's a microphone near your fucking mouth. Speak up. For some reason, she's so goddamn quiet in this movie, you can barely understand anything she says.
Yeah, she could have, like, reversed this level of volume in her voice in that scene in Chained Heat in the Tombs. Like, is that you? Like, when she's screaming, getting killed.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, hello? Yeah, she just
Is someone dying over there?
Jeff, is that you?
Yeah.
Is that you, Jeff? And then she gets up, she goes to the door, and then all of a sudden it shuts. And I write, now some haunted mansion ghost appears.
Yeah.
Like literally from the haunted mansion.
Right.
This looks like one of those dancing ghosts.
It's like a Pepper's ghost illusion. It's so obvious. I couldn't figure out if the filmmakers wanted us to believe it was a ghost or is this supposed to be like a prank?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is this a prank or is this just a real ghost?
No.
Because we'll never follow this up.
No.
We don't see anybody controlling it or anything. We see some horrible ghost effect.
Yeah.
And it's got chains and it's walking towards Linda. Yet Linda's acting in this scene. I'm going to play this because literally the most monotone voice possible. Linda's by the door and she goes, Peter, I'm scared. I'm scared.
Yeah.
Please, turn it off. Turn it off. Like, just no reaction to it.
Oh, cute guys. Terrific. May! Peter! I'm scared! Please turn it off!
Exactly. There's no big deal. Like, I saw a ghost. It's just kind of like a casual and passing. Up, I stubbed my toe. Same reaction.
So she doesn't look scared. She just looks confused. And then all of a sudden the door opens and she falls out. That's a wrap on ghost effect. We'll never see another ghost in this movie, mention the ghost, or even know where it came from.
Yeah.
But at one point, there was a ghost in this movie.
Or not.
And Robin Hood and Jeff are like, well, hey, what the hell happened? And she's like, oh, I saw a walking corpse or something. I'm not sure. And then, okay, no, I do like this part. So they go into the room, and then for some reason, Linda tells us in detail, literally everything that happened in the past 2 minutes. She goes like, okay, so I was sitting at that chair, and then the window opened, and then the fireplace went out, and then I went to the door, and it was locked, and then a ghost appeared, and it had chains, and
So there's no stop in the sentence. It's just and then. There's no period.
yeah, and I write, for what? For what? We just fucking saw that. It just happened. What? Not even 1 second ago. Right?
Who's benefiting from this? Who benefits?
In case what? You went to the bathroom just during that scene? A scene we'll never reference again that has no bearing on the rest of the movie? Please, you know what? Runtime, baby. Repeat that last 2 minutes.
Yeah, you dropped a Sour Patch Kid on the ground and you're scrounging for it. And when he came up, that's when you wanted to get the recap.
They must have timed it for the driver. They're like, all right, this is when people are going to end.
Yeah.
You know?
This is where she's coming up for air.
Yeah. We got to explain what happened. People just saw a ghost. They're going to be confused.
Yeah.
So Peter and Parrot Boy plan their next move. And like Peter puts on some mask and Parrot Boy says it's time to, quote, start the physical terror phase, which this man, I'm afraid for what that means.
Physical terror.
Parrot Boy's
I mean, he gave the man a gun, so.
So Linda and Jeff, yeah, by the way, smart idea. You're going to go fuck with these people. Give them a loaded gun.
Yeah.
You know? So Linda and Jeff, they find all these contraptions that like open doors and windows. This is when I write, are these guys like fucking Imagineers or some shit? Are they trying out for their Disneyland job?
They tried out, got the job, and then quit just so they can do this. They learn the trade, turned down the whatever $100K a year salary as an Imagineer.
Right.
Now they're doing this.
What you don't know, Chris, is that fraternity is just Imagineers.
Yeah.
Like it's the Imagineer fraternity. So,
Yeah.
you know, your real test to see if you can go work at Disneyland is, can you make an effect over at the mansion to scare our pledges? Mm-hmm. Can you spend literally tens of thousands of dollars to make a fake fucking ghost or some shit?
They give you a piece of glass, a light, and a mirror and said, make a ghost.
All right, I think these guys are taking this a little too seriously at this point.
Yeah. This is like lawsuit.
You know, just bang on some
territory.
Windows, you know?
Ooh.
Yeah. Get a sheet, cut some holes in it, you know. The night's over. I mean, this is getting on an extreme level.
Yeah.
So Parrot Boy's on the roof and he gets killed by this monster thing. That's what happens.
Done.
Then Linda and Jeff, they're getting ready for bed in this room with two twin beds, and she's like, "Oh, let's go to bed." And he like opens the closet and a skeleton comes out.
Yeah. Rattle me bones.
The old skeleton in the closet gag.
Never fails.
And so then he's like, "Oh, we're going to bed, huh?" Tries to get Linda's bed. She's like,
Where you gonna find me? Where you gonna find me?
So then Robin Hood and the Flapper, we cut to them and they're sleeping. And then the Flapper wakes up. So like she wakes up from her slumber just to like get another round of Quaaludes and booze. And I'm like, I'm not sure that's a good combo before going back to sleep. I guess you don't want to wake up in the morning.
No. She wants this night to go real quick.
So she hears some knock on the door and she goes to investigate. And she walks into another room where there are literally hundreds and hundreds of fucking candles lit.
Like Phantom of the Opera style.
Yeah, it's just insane. Like we said, there's like mountains of wax with wicks sticking out to and fro. So then the Flapper goes into some old room and she like looks at old shit for a while. Like literally three minutes.
Are we at the dresser yet that she's sitting
Yeah,
at?
yeah.
Oh God. Okay, she goes through each individual drawer. So you know, everything in this movie happens in real time. We get to see people go from room to room as it happens. Up the stairs, down the stairs, to the bathroom, from the bathroom, coitus, post-coitus. It happens.
Quad Ed Zone to shame.
Thank
it really
you.
does.
Thank you. I said everything that happened. I'm like, this is just the fucking brother story. Someone's going to be dressed up as a clown at the end of this film.
I wish.
That would have been better.
So
Linda in a clown outfit.
Yeah, and when she opens that drawer, Chris, a snake
the old
pops
snake
out.
in the can, yeah.
And then, okay, so I don't even get this part. She looks into the mirror.
Yeah.
And then Peter's like on the other side of this mirror, and he shines a flashlight, and her face becomes the mask that he's wearing.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't work. She just like looks and she goes like, "Oh."
Well, that's the joke is that she's so out of her mind that's how she really looks. That's the joke. She's so on drugs. She's so looted out, so fried. Like, oh man, I gotta lay off these lewds.
I just write, what the fuck was this?
Yeah.
All this work for nothing.
Yeah.
Literally nothing.
That's the joke.
No punchline, no joke, no nothing.
That was the punchline. I gotta lay off the lewds. The Quaaludes are doing a number on my skin. That was the big haha moment.
So basically, Peter, he's all bummed because it doesn't work. He like calls for Parrot Boy, and he goes up to the roof to find him. And he walks around forever and ever and ever on this roof.
In real time.
And he like trips over a dummy, and then for some reason he starts using some pulley.
Yeah, why did he decide to use this? Like,
I don't know.
It's here.
I read again with these contraptions.
Like the do not push button, you're going to press it. Oh, a pulley. I'm going to pull it.
At this point, I'm wondering, while he's doing this pulley, all right, what would happen if the owners of this house or somebody was trying to sell it and comes and sees all this shit and they're like, oh, wait, I don't really know what's going on here. This doesn't come with the house, none of this
Is this
stuff.
a dumbwaiter thing?
This is like the prospective buyers are like, who lit all the candles? Well, look at this ghost. Does this come with the house? They're like, oh, yeah, sure. Everything you see.
It's bait to sell just for Halloween night.
So basically he pulls this pulley for like 3 minutes and then he finds Parrot Boy on the end of it.
Right.
And he's like strung up dead. And he just like lets it go and he falls down and then he runs down the roof and he's all scared and he's trying to run away from the house and unlock the gate. Mm-hmm. But then the monster attacks and he fights back and he runs away and eventually the monster just kills him by sticking a scythe through him.
Yeah. Do you think they're trying to do like a Shining kind of maze
with the
thing?
fucking hedge maze?
Yeah.
I was thinking that.
I was like, this is a total ripoff. Because, again, the pacing. I think they're trying to do a real Kubrick thing here with the pacing and the speed of things happening.
Was this made before The Shining?
No, Shining was in the... Oh, no.
It was 80s.
It was 80s.
Maybe Kubrick's copying Hell Night.
Oh.
He's like, I want to make that Hell Night movie, but good. And with less Mongoloid. So Linda and Jeff... Linda's lighting another candle because why the fuck not? And they talk for a while. She's like, so she lights a candle because they've blown them all out, and she's awake now. And she goes, "Can we talk for a while?" And I'm like, "I'm sure it's going to be stimulating." And she says something about how she saw a witch when she was a kid.
Oh God.
And then Jeff's like, "Well, I saw an elf," and what he describes as an elf is obviously just a little person with a beard. And even asked Linda, he's like, what do you think that was? She's like, oh, it sounds like an elf. I'm like, really? And she's like, well, you're a weirdo. And he's like, well, you saw a witch. And she's like, oh, yeah, I guess we're both weirdos. And then she goes over to his bed and she goes, so I guess us weirdos just have to stick together. And they start making out. And I write, even though the sexual chemistry developed between these two characters is colder than fucking an iceberg.
Yeah.
Which is a quote from Savage Streets.
John Vernon.
I mean, really, no setup. I mean, Linda and this man don't even get within 2 inches of each other until this scene when they start to kiss. It's like, oh, yeah, fuck, they should just kind of get together, I guess.
Linda, lean forward so that top kind of gets really low and, get that tongue ready.
So Robin Hood and the Flapper, they're going for round 2, Chris.
Yeah.
They're getting a little frisky there in the bed. But I don't get this part. So they're getting frisky, and then Robin Hood, he goes, it's time for the John.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's all like, oh, I thought your name was Seth.
And he gets all mad.
And this almost seems like a temp joke. Like something they wrote in the script and like, oh, we'll put something in better
We're going to
later.
ADR something over you.
Oh, I'll fix that later. And then they get on set and he's like, well, no, he basically writes the script and he goes, well, here's my first draft, Mr. DeSimone. And he goes like, oh, no, kid, we shoot tomorrow.
A real roller
Oh, no,
situation.
this needs a lot of work. Don't worry about it. Nobody's going to pay attention. We got it. We got the reason we're making this movie. This outfit. I'm going to get to that.
One of many.
So all of a sudden we see a shot. So like Robin Hood leaves for some reason, and all of a sudden we see a shot of this giant man watching the Flapper in bed, and then he like covers her mouth before she can scream. And I write, okay, 45 minutes to go. Almost everyone's already dead. What's gonna be left?
Well, you can say a head.
Okay, so we go to Robin Hood, right? And now I thought this was post-coitus.
Yeah.
That he's going to the bathroom.
Right.
But no, Chris, he looks in the mirror and he's like doing the fucking Mark Wahlberg pep talk before he goes out there, like in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
And he's like looking in the mirror and he's like, yeah, you got this. You got this. Yeah. I'm like, God, what? So he's in this bathroom. Gives himself the old pep talk for what? Don't really know.
Yeah.
And I write, why did he leave mid-coitus? He was getting all hot and heavy, and then he like goes to what? Give himself the old, oh, hold on, don't know if I'm ready. I'm like,
well, doesn't he say something like score one for the good guy or something like that?
I just heard him say, I think I got this.
No, he said score one for the good guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I was like, it's not, I know they're not very intelligent people. I'm like, it's not that difficult. It just involves sticking something in a hole. It's really, I think you got it, buddy. I think you got it.
Yeah.
You probably learned this in 6th grade in health class, how it works.
Yeah.
So
he thinks it's like some Olympic sex.
The Sex Olympics.
The Sex Olympics, yeah.
From a past episode.
Yeah.
He would not enter. So he
definitely more than one way, Mike, in more than one way. Oh, zing zing zing!
So he goes back in this room, Chris. He's all whistling. He's ready to go. What happened?
Well, he's gonna come out, and our boy, one of the Mongoloids, has already taken his turn, and as you can see, he got some head to say,
Because he lies down.
Yeah, Seth gets in bed, feels around, and I was hoping that the Mongoloid was going to be in bed, and he starts getting hot when the Mongoloid.
Like all of a sudden, you see like the head go, like the covers kind of rise up, and it goes towards his lap. He's like, oh.
Yeah, and then like some Mongoloid boner pops out. It's like, that's how we do things where you're from, huh? Because she has an accent, so he thinks it's like some British or Australian thing wherever she's from. David, maybe you can help us with that. I can't really point my my compass isn't spinning around on this one. But yeah, so he rips.
She doesn't say any of the keys to tell me if it's British or Australia.
Yeah,
like she doesn't say the word T, so that eliminates British for me.
Yeah,
and she doesn't use the word Barbie, so I don't know where she's from. Yeah. David,
yes.
Your assistance is needed.
Yes. Well, so he's gonna peel back the comforter, the sheet, the rag, what have you, and there is her head severed. Cue the stinger music. Dun, dun, dun. Big scream. And he goes running and screaming.
Yeah,
and those
then-
wonderful boxers, which I couldn't really tell.
Like
'cause
hearts.
Hearts? Okay, the
Yeah.
resolution was so low, I thought they were like little hot dogs.
Be better.
That would have been better.
A little cocktail Frank.
The mustard.
boxer
Yeah,
shirt.
when he gets done, he rolls over and goes, the mustard is off the hot dog.
Okay, so one time for Christmas, my mother gave me. This was when I was an adult.
Oh, really?
Had given me like clothes for Christmas.
Oh, shocker.
And she had given me pairs of underwear, like boxer shorts, boxer briefs, you know?
Yeah.
And she gave me one that had SpongeBob SquarePants on it for some reason, and it said Employee of the Month right before the crotch. And I look at her and I go, what the fuck is this?
That's supposed to mean.
Like right where your zipper is.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, Mom, what the hell? Like this.
Okay, it should have said broom closet.
Well, I got my Employee of the Month undies from
Yeah.
good old Mom.
Would you like to shake hands with the employee of the month? There you go. That is why. Would you like to go head to head with the employee of the month? Oh, zing, zing, zing.
Hashtag call me Tex if you want to hear more stories like that.
Yeah.
So Linda and Jeff, they hear Seth scream, and they go out and they're like, "Oh, what happened?" Okay, and so Robin Hood says, he goes, "I don't know, that sorority chick," and I write, "He didn't even know her name." All right, neither did we. So Linda and Jeff, they walk into the room and they see the head, and then they all run downstairs, and Robin Hood, he grabs the gun,
Yeah.
and then they all keep talking about some girl named Denise.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
I was lost.
Okay, so let's not explain it yet. So they're all talking about a girl named Denise. I'm going to read my notes from these parts.
Yeah.
And then they keep saying dead chick. And I write, was this girl named Denise? Who are they talking about? Yeah. So then Robin Hood, they run out. He tries to shoot the lock off the gate. But, okay, now I got a problem with this part too, Chris.
Yeah.
So he tries to shoot the lock, and what?
They're blanks.
And I write, although earlier Peter did shoot the lock off.
With the one shot.
The same fucking gun.
So did he plan just to shoot it off with the one to prove that it was real, and then he filled the rest knowing that he was just going to use that one shot?
But this is what I write. I hate when they use blanks in movies. Who the fuck buys blank? What is the practical purpose other than like shooting a movie?
Yeah.
Who just goes like, oh, well, I'm going to load my gun with blanks because I don't really want to shoot it. I just want to put some fear into people and pull the trigger. Like
because he didn't want them to actually hurt people in this house. It was all part of the gag.
Well, tell that to Brandon Lee, Chris, because he certainly got hurt by a blank.
Well, in this film universe, people watching this, they don't know better. And people know when they see movies, blanks don't hurt. They use my movies. Well, they kill. And in this movie, it's not presumed that they kill, because in this universe, nothing fucking matters. And that's that.
Have you ever bought blanks for any other reason than to just like do it in a movie?
Bachelor party.
Little Russian roulette, you know. You want to let the guy think he's just playing with fire, you know.
Yeah. Boy, is this face going to be red.
He's like, oh no, I don't think we should bring that gun to the bachelor party. He's like, no, it's a blank. It's a blank. I think those can still hurt you. No, trust me, it's fine. It's fine.
We'll try to.
It's a 1 in 6 chance. All right?
We'll let the stripper try first, just to be sure.
And he goes, how do you load it? 5 and then 1 empty? Or I always forget.
Is it 5 full then 1 empty? I just knowing these guys, it would just be a clip.
He goes, oh no, all I brought was this clip. Oh, no, you can't play Russian roulette with that.
Says who?
That's North Korean roulette. That's what that one is, right?
Oh!
So Robin Hood, all right, so he like gets all desperate. He's like, I'm going to climb this fence. And then Linda goes like, me too.
Yeah.
She doesn't make it. She doesn't make it even 3 feet up this fucking thing.
Linda just goes for it.
Like Linda, look, Robin Hood's making it.
Wait, whoa. Let's back up. Robin Hood has to take off his boots and has to climb with his socks. Like, he gets better grip
He's like a monkey. He uses his feet.
I'm sorry, but no. I would say I'd be better off with my shoes than my bare
Probably.
feet. Because
Well, those stage boots are real tough, Chris.
I'm still gonna say I get better grip with stage boots than I would socks.
Well, so
okay, so he climbs up. He starts cutting his hand. Linda falls back.
yeah,
under.
Linda goes. She's like, "All right, I'm gonna climb it too." And Jeff is like, yeah, and he's holding her the whole time,
Yeah.
and she just kind of grabs the gate and she goes, and then just falls.
I think she was pissed when she read that in the script. Like, I don't get 5 feet. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I think she was like, I'm gonna get out of this movie too. I'm gonna climb this fucking fence.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just like, do I really only climb it like 3 feet? And he's like, come on, honey.
Yeah. Come on, honey.
As written, first draft. Trust me, they're not paying to see you climb a fence, Linda. So Hood, he makes it to the top, right?
Yeah.
And he stupidly grabs one, like you said, and cuts his hand.
Yeah.
And Linda's even like, watch out, they're sharp. And he's like, yeah. And just grabs one. He's like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I sliced my hand open. So he eventually makes it.
Does he cut his shoulder on it too?
Yeah, he cuts his shoulder.
He messes himself up.
But he makes it.
But my favorite thing is they throw his boots over instead of just pass them under, which you clearly had more than enough room. And
Yeah.
another problem I have: this is a dirt road, and there's enough room to pass boots. Get a shovel; you can just dig your way out.
Yeah, seriously.
Not a problem.
Or is what I'm going to say in a little bit would be my solution. But I write, okay, so he says he's going to go and help them. And I'm like, I'm not going to put my trust in this fucking guy.
No.
Robin Hood? No.
The man with a pencil-thin mustache.
The man who had to give himself a pep talk. Because he was like, all right, I think it goes here, but I'm not sure. Also, what appendage do I use?
Does she wear this condom or do I?
Yeah, oh, shit. Maybe I'll go ask her. So, Linda and Jeff now are loaded the gate with 40 more minutes to burn. Yeah. What the fuck is going to happen for the rest of this movie?
I'll tell you what's going to happen. Moving room to room, step by step, in real time.
Oh, okay. So what he says, Chris, he goes, well, let's go back in the house and find Denise. And I write, who the fuck is Denise?
Thank you.
Who the fuck is this? Who are you talking
Yeah.
about? And I write, if you're referring to the flapper, you clearly saw a
her
severed
dead.
head in the
Yeah.
bed.
Unless if that was some gag.
I write, finding the rest of the body's not going to do you any good.
Do you think Denise was like a cutting room floor character that they forgot to cut out for the rest of like the dialogue? They just didn't know how to cut it out.
Keep talking about Denise, and I'm like, guys, the head was in the bed, like a fucking Godfather there. I mean, so they slowly walk back to the house, right? And they keep calling out for
God.
Denise.
It's
And
torture.
this is what I read again, guys. I hate to fucking bring it to you, but she's dead.
Yeah.
If that's the flapper, she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I write, you can't just reattach your fucking head to a body. I know these aren't med students, but come on. And then I write, oh my God. If the last 40 minutes of this movie is Linda and Wyatt Earp Jeff trying to make a Frankenstein monster out of Denise's leftovers, I'm going to be very pleased.
Like a very reanimator situation.
Yeah, like they're like, all right, find her body. It's still good, Linda. It's still good. I know you could reattach it. I read this.
I wanted to see the body like wandering around, like finding the head, bumping into walls
Maids for her body. Denise.
with a candle.
They have her head, like they have her head with a candle in the mouth. Just around.
He has a lantern.
So then Robin Hood, for some reason, he goes back to the frat house to ask everybody for help. And I write, why not go to the cops, you fucking moron? Yeah, go to the house with a bunch of drunk people. But for some reason, not one living soul in this frat house.
No, this is like nuclear winter on the
So
streets.
he goes and like the apocalypse has happened. Because he looks into this frat house window and there's just like, it looks like a fucking ghost town.
Yeah, like a bomb went
Like
off.
they all got fucking raptured.
Yeah.
Like this, now all of a sudden this college is empty.
Now it's the leftovers, season 1.
It must be like a community college where they're like, all right, everybody go home.
Yeah. It's a fancy ass community college, if I ever say so myself.
So then I write, this is exactly why I said I wouldn't put my trust in this fucking moron. We go back to Linda and Jeff, and they're just sitting around thinking about things, and then Linda starts to cry. And for some reason, Jeff says he needs to go investigate a light in the garden. Why? Because he's a fucking idiot.
We don't get to see this light in the garden, like from his point. We just hear about it.
Yeah. Oh, God.
'Cause I
Are
would
you
like
kidding me? There's no money for a reverse. Like, then he looks out the window and he's like, look at that light in the garden, Linda. I got to go find out what it is. She's like, no, don't. Just stay here. And he's like, I have to. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then he leaves, right? And he kisses her goodbye. And then he goes around and he looks around the garden, Chris. There's no light to be seen, by the way.
Yeah.
None. Not one whatsoever. They didn't bring any lights to the film shoot. Why the fuck would they put one in the garden?
No, they had to pull up the truck.
God,
Turn on the
this
headlights.
movie, every time they go outside, you can't see shit.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's the quality of the print we're watching, but I could barely see people walking. Like, it's like, okay, just because you're shooting at night doesn't mean you can't shoot without lights,
Yeah.
Tom. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, you've gotten past putting boom mics at every shot, but you forgot the lights. You think they just showed up and they're like, no, we're going to shoot it all with natural light, with candlelight, like we're Kubrick or some shit. You know, this is Barry Lyndon.
That has to be what they thought they were going to do.
Mr. DeSimone, it doesn't work like that. Or he's like, where's that grip truck? Oh, they thought you meant next weekend. What?
So they thought you said grape truck.
Grape truck.
We got a bunch of... There's a truck full of grapes outside.
What do I do with these fucking grapes? Hey, go to the store and buy some fucking candles. What's your name? Darabont? Go to the store and buy some fucking candles.
That's all it was.
And Frank Darabont's running around a fucking 7-Eleven like, I need all the candles you got. Oh my God. We gotta film this fucker.
Melt that. Slap, like,
They're stuck out in the fucking Redlands with not one goddamn light.
there's like pockets full of change, dollar bills, credit cards getting maxed out. Peeling out every...
He just comes back with like a fucking trunk full of candles. This will have to do, kid. This will have to do.
Oh shit, that's how we got. This has gotta last us 40 days. We're not Jewish. We're fucking menorah.
One at a time. So Jeff goes around this fucking garden investigating this light that does not exist. And I write, if this was me, I would just hole up in that room with Linda until the morning or help arrives. I would block the door with a big piece of furniture, and I would just see where the night took us, you know? Let's be like, all right, you know, it's going to be morning eventually. Let's just hang out, you know? We'll see. No mongoloids getting
just
through this
stick it
boudoir,
out.
you know?
No.
It's not going to happen.
Oh god. Linda, bar the door.
But instead he grabs a pitchfork and he's walking around this hedge maze for a while because Tom DeSimone told him there's another 30 minutes to kill. And he's like, all right, just walk around for a while.
Yeah.
Another shot. So then he finds Peter dead, and then he runs off or something, and then we go to Robin Hood. Finally, he goes to the police station, Chris.
Oh god, my favorite.
Explain to me what happened.
Okay, he goes in there and he's like, you got out with there's been a murder. He's like, you kids have been getting away with murder all night long. Get out of here or I'll throw you in the brig.
Yeah, bloody man runs
Yeah.
into your precinct and goes, there's a fucking murder.
And hysterics.
And it's like, oh, here we go. Hell night again. Here we go.
And so they just let him wander off down the precinct, and there's an open door cracked.
Oh my God. This fucking part.
And there's guns on the table, unattended, with ammo.
Okay.
Tagged.
In this police station, he just said, there's a fucking open door next to the exit of this police station with, like, Chris, not just guns, like the fucking SWAT van was unloaded on this table. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know if it's evidence or not. I think there were tags on there. I couldn't tell.
Yeah,
but there's like assault rifles.
Maybe that's why there's nobody at that frat house. They found it was a big gun running operation or some shit. But this guy stupidly makes the biggest mistake out of anybody in this whole movie. Is he goes like, well, if the police aren't going to help me, I'm going to have to help myself.
Justice be damned.
So he goes, well, I'll do the only sensible thing. Steal a shotgun. Okay, so first of all, he goes into this room.
And he picks up the smallest gun first.
So there's like a fucking M4
Yeah.
and like all these guns, and he picks up the 6-shooter and he's like, this one. But no, he settles on the shotgun. Good thing, because if you can't aim, the shotgun's probably a good choice. You know,
Probably, I guess, but you
spray
got-
it and pay it. You know what I mean?
Pray and spray.
Spray.
But you got less rounds. You got that many less shells than you would with like a magazine of something for the M4.
But the other thing that annoys me is, so he's like sneaking around this room, and then he like
Goes out the window.
well. He stops to load it in the station. It's like, just fucking bring the shells, dude. Like,
Yeah.
He's like looking through the window and he's like slowly cocking the gun. It's like, just fucking go, man.
You might hear that down the hall. If you're like,
He's like, oh, did it? All right, I'll put another.
if you're like on administrative leave down the hall and you hear this, I would ask questions.
Can you imagine somebody like, okay, who didn't shut the door? Guys, come on now. All right, we're running it fast and loose in this college town, but
Alrighty.
honestly, somebody stole a shotgun. That's going to be a lot of paperwork. So then he gets out that window, and then we go back to Linda and Jeff. They're sitting in the bedroom. I wrote, I bet they didn't even lock the fucking door or put anything in front of
No,
it, because
no.
of course they fucking wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I write, nope, because then the rug starts to move. So this is what I thought, like, oh, is there another like ghost that's gonna appear or some shit?
Like it'd be like some pole coming through the ground.
That's what I write in my notes, Chris. I wrote, what the hell was with that ghost earlier in the movie? Like, is this gonna come into play at any point? What was that about? What was this chain rattling ghost about?
Like, this is just like leftover some some Charles Dickens,
This was
Ghost of Christmas Past has
This
arrived.
is like the first draft where this ghost, he was like, oh, the second, when I go back over it, I'm going to make this ghost more of a central character.
It's gonna have a backstory and everything.
Like, that ghost was the most expensive shot of this whole fucking
Yeah,
movie,
it
and it
was.
led to nothing. Maybe they were like, well, we're going to have more ghosts. And they go, oh, sorry, Mr. DeSimone, we spent all our money on candles. We don't have any money for those other ghost shots. Oh, well, what the fuck? What the fuck? That ghost was going to come back. He played a big part.
It had a monologue and everything.
we just got to cut it, sir. I don't know what to tell you.
Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
The ghost's name was Denise.
Also, we don't have time to retake that shot of Linda. She wasn't even acting. That was the rehearsal.
Yeah.
We ran out of film, sir. We're gonna have to keep the monotone one.
Yeah.
So this rug starts going up, right?
Damn it.
And then, so our boy Wyatt Earp Jeff stabs it with that pitchfork.
Okay. Oh, well, let me rewind a bit. This scene, we blew past this part, but
Okay.
let's go back to Wyatt Earp. His outfit. Okay.
Go back all
when
the
they
way to the
like,
beginning of this
let's
movie.
go back a whole 40 minutes. Everybody, like, drop what you're doing. Pull over on the road if you're driving. Turn on the hazards. Now let's go back to when they're laying in bed. Linda's lying in bed, and Wyatt Earp lies down. Linda kind of makes herself comfortable with her outfit. Not really. Wyatt Earp, he pulls like the little lace string. That's that little bow tie thing, and that's it. And then he lies down for like his comforting relief. That's the only thing he does.
He's got to stay in character, Chris. He's the lawman.
No. You're in a situation like this. I'm getting out of that monkey suit. I'm sorry. He's like in
I
full,
know. He's wearing like a full vest,
like in
and a
full
jacket.
regalia. Like he's gonna.
It's gonna be tough to move in this.
Well, he's
fucking
getting
thing.
ready for when the newspapers come. He's ready for that photo.
He's like, I gotta look good.
Yeah. But anyways, back onto the on ramp.
So
When this rug appears,
this rug man,
we get this over the shoulder shot from the rug's point of view of Linda. Like, there's no cue of sound or like a ooh or like a footstep. This is Linda turns around randomly and sees it.
yeah,
and
she
screams.
just goes, ah,
Yeah.
and starts screaming.
Yeah.
And then Jeff Earp stabs him with that pitchfork.
Yeah.
Right.
My suspicion was that Denise was under that rug, whoever the fuck she was. Like, they
Yeah,
accidentally
the
killed her.
mysterious Denise.
Yeah, like
who it
Denise-
is, we don't fucking know.
We never will.
I'm like, it's all right, guys. She's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So then they like pull off the rug and they find he's gone, and there's a trap door in the floor, Chris.
Yeah.
And so stupidly, Jeff goes like, well, I'm going down there after him. And I write, no.
Yeah.
put a fucking dresser over that deal.
Yeah. Light it
Wait
on.
till the morning.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Like, what is wrong with you people? And then Linda stupidly goes, well, no, I'm going with you. So they just... right in my throat nose. Just cover that shit up, light some more candles, and wait for morning, baby. Let's just get this movie over, right? No, we got to go into some stupid trap door because they obviously want to die. We go into some fucking basement because we still have 25 minutes to kill. They're gonna walk around for a good
15
quad zone walking scene for a good 15 fucking minutes. You know what? I skipped over it at one point. Oh no! I haven't skipped over it. I timed it at one point. I timed
good.
how long something took, Chris, and you're not even gonna believe it, how long. And this is when I write, while they're walking, I started to ponder, and I write, I honestly think the only thing that got this movie made was the idea of Linda Blair running around in a low-cut top. I go, I think they bought the costume before the script was written.
Yeah.
And I think DeSimone's pitch to investors was just a picture of Linda Blair, and he threw the costume on the table, and some guy just stood up and said, sold! But now they've entered some cave or what looks like a Knott's Berry Farm ride. And Tom DeSimone has told them they need to walk around extra slow because we need that run time.
Okay, and it is a dark cave, and there's one flashlight. However, there is light perfectly on their face.
Yeah.
The entire time.
Yeah, they brought the lights that night, I guess.
Yeah, they had the lights on, but not in the.
They only had
face.
one light. They're like, get it on the face.
Yeah.
So eventually they enter some sort of Pirate Caribbean room. Like this. So this looks like the room in Pirates of the Caribbean.
With the doubloons
Yeah.
all mounted up.
Yes, it looks like the fucking room. I was like, did they film this at Disneyland?
Yeah, they just
So
hid the camera in a stroller.
Okay.
Went on the ride and just roll it.
So they go into this Pirates of the Caribbean doubloon room with with a dinner table, and there's two skeletons at it, and a woman with her head reattached.
Yeah.
But it's not the flapper. It's Cave Girl, and we find out this is Denise.
Yeah.
And I write, well, good job fucking explaining who this is. I didn't even know that girl had a name.
No.
And she was only in this movie for 2 minutes. How was I supposed to remember her? When you're walking around going, Denise, I think they're calling for their friend who was in the movie.
Because she was the one that got, her head cut off with the machete.
Yeah. But Tom DeSimone's like, no, the flapper's British. Nobody cares about a Brit. Don't give her a fucking name, all right?
Yeah.
She's just going to die and nobody remembers her. We're just going to call her, quote, that sorority chick. That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing. So then they go up some stairs and the monster follows them. Then they go outside. They lock a door, blah, blah, blah. Then we go to Robin Hood. So he's walking around the streets with a shotgun.
Covered like bloody, torn. It's like a They Live situation.
He's walking around like he's fucking Roddy Piper with his shotgun.
Yeah.
And he sees some guy, some professor trying to get in his car. And he's like, hey, get the fuck out of that car.
No, he tells him, goes up to him, like, give me your car. And the guy goes, what do you say? He goes, what do you want? Like, after he tells him, like, exactly what he...
The fucking car.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, you can't do that. I'm calling the cops. He goes, good, call the cops. Tell them what the matter. And then he drives away. Right?
Yeah.
And then we're back in this room again.
Jesus.
And Linda and Jeff are probably having some deep conversation about witches and dwarves and
Elves.
I'm sorry, elves.
Thank you.
Did you see a pot of gold with that elf? Or?
Thank
I wanted
you.
to hear more about Linda seeing a witch. Did she just see a homeless woman and go
Pushing a
oh,
shopping
mommy,
cart."
look, a witch.
Yeah. Yeah. It was,
Yes, Linda, yes.
Yeah, I was begging for change, I'm sure.
Linda gets to the college and she sees a homeless woman. She's like, oh, wow, I've never seen a witch in person. Somebody's just like, oh, yeah, what's this girl talking about?
Yeah.
So, also, I want to know what age she saw the witch, because she didn't explain that. She's just like, oh, I saw a witch once. Like, what is this, last week? When you were 5? What did this entail, please? Also, how do you denote somebody being a witch? Did she just see, like, somebody in a cost? Like, okay. So
Let's
let's break this
Was there a cauldron? Was there a big nose? A broom?
Do you think She was like out in the woods and saw some sort of like, woman running around like with long hair and disheveled and like trying to steal children or something.
Or did you see like a ritual at the end of that movie, The Witch?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like a witch like that.
Yeah.
Or did she just look up in the night sky one night and see a woman fly by on a broomstick?
Yeah.
Or was this like a hocus pocus type scenario where she had a house on her street where there was these 3 women living there with a big cauldron and they always dressed like paupers and walked around?
It's a cat named Binks.
Oh. By the way, what do you think the neighbors of that movie Hocus Pocus? What do you think of the neighbors would think of those people? There's just that lesbian house. They're just they just like to role play and
They live it up. They live it up.
people have to explain it every time somebody comes over their house. Well, I saw a woman walking around in 18th century garb. Oh no, it's these 3 lesbians live over there, and what we think they are. We shouldn't be rude, but
We've never been invited over.
it's nothing. They don't really bother anybody. They just kind of cackle every now and again. They just like to play around, Yeah. I see their cat in our yard sometimes. I give them some tuna.
Talks.
Some nights there's weird lights and stuff. Hey, they're having a good time. So we go back in this room, and I write, okay, so now I finally get it. The cave girl from the start of the movie was named Denise, and that's who was at the table. I thought it was the flapper.
Yeah.
They never saw this girl at the fucking house. How did they even know she was there? They never saw Denise. They never knew she was there.
No.
The only person they heard was Peter. They didn't even know Parrot Boy and Denise were there.
Nope.
And I write, well, good job, Tom, because you didn't even let the audience know that this girl had a fucking name. Thanks a lot. Next time, just clue us in, buddy.
Yeah.
You got a character, you got a name, let us know.
There's at least in a lot of films there's a few breadcrumbs left to decipher who is who, but this is not even a crouton.
We don't have time to introduce a name. We gotta kill. If people don't see bloodshed in the first 10 minutes, they're gonna leave.
Blood frizzer tits.
Lower that top.
Yeah.
The producer comes on set. He's like, no, Linda, lower that top. Lower that top.
Lean forward.
That's not what we're paying for.
You notice every shot she's like leaning forward.
Yeah.
As low as forward.
Oh,
as low as
God,
possible.
I know.
Yeah, let him hang, baby. Yeah.
Tom's like, cut. Linda, can you lean over a little bit more?
Like you're whispering a secret with your boobs.
Yeah, let him talk right into the chest, Linda. That's where he's going to be talking, eyes down there.
That's probably where they hit the boom mic.
Yeah, that's how they get the guy to deliver his lines. So they sit in this room and they think about what to do next. And I write, how about staying in that room?
No.
But no, they'll certainly fuck this up. And then all of a sudden, Robin Hood drives to the manor. He gets out with his gun. I write in my notes, I hope he dies and this was all in vain. But then now something happens that really fucking pisses me off.
Yes.
So he gets to this house, Chris, and the way he gets in
Thank you.
is how?
He feels his way along the side, and there is like a crooked bar. Like the barring is like crooked and pried upwards, like a spiral almost to get in. Like he easily just like, oh, there we go, like going through like.
So there's a way in,
Yeah,
and a
and
way out.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a fucking lock
Yeah.
or a gate or anything.
Yeah.
But no, these people are so fucking dumb. They didn't look for another way out. They're like, the only way out is this gate.
Yeah.
There's a fucking hole 2 feet from the gate.
Well, to be fair, Mike, it's dark. All the candles are inside, not outside.
But he seemed to know where it was. He just walks right into the hole. He goes. Then the monster man grabs him in a window. Basically, they get in a fight. He shoots this guy. He falls into a puddle.
And what does he do? He pulls him out of the puddle.
Yeah, he pulls him out of the puddle and he looks at him and he goes, I killed him. And he runs inside and he goes inside and he's like, I killed him, guys. I killed him. It's all done. Everything's done. Everything's fine. Let's just go home. We're good. He doesn't say anything about hey, by the way, there's a hole in the fence. We could just walk right out of it. Nope. The monster man. So he comes in and then Linda and Jeff are standing at the top of the stairs and then the monster man grabs Robin Hood and just you hear a shot.
Yeah.
And then the gun just
goes
slides
flying,
out.
Yeah.
And Linda, for some reason, goes, I'm going to go get the gun. Just announces it. By the way, loudest line delivery in the movie. I'm going to get the gun.
I'm going down there to get the gun now.
So, right. In the time it takes Linda to get down these stairs, I peeled an entire orange. I was sitting at my desk going like, I want to eat this orange. And I just started peeling it, and I'm like, I'll probably have to pause. Nope. I got all the way through peeling that orange and started to eat it before something happened.
Thank you.
So she goes and she grabs the gun, and obviously the monster man comes out. He chases her. Blah, 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 blah. They go into the room. He Jack Nicholson's his way through the door. Which, by the way, if this movie was made before The Shining, Kubrick must have seen it. He must have seen it. Jack Nicholson's his way through this door. If only the Mongoloid had said, "Here's Johnny."
Yeah, right. Well, it's not a Mongoloid anymore. We now are greeted by Ted Danson poking his head through this door.
Ted Danson comes into the room, right?
Yeah.
They run out of the window, but Jeff doesn't make it, and then the monster throws him out the window.
Right.
Then basically, Linda runs for another 10 fucking minutes. And then she sees, that body he shot earlier, that Robin Hood shot, was a different guy.
Yeah.
So he did kill one of them. So apparently there were 2 killers.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't know. I couldn't have known that there were 2, let alone 3.
So basically, she runs around for a while. She gets out of the gate. Then she locks it again. We go through the whole thing of her locking it.
We have to see literally how to lock a gate, how to open a gate.
But at first I write, okay, what's the fucking point? There's a running car. Get in the car and just drive away. Why you gotta lock the gate?
Yeah, and they're nowhere in your field of vision at that point.
Yeah, just go.
Yeah.
But no, she gets in the car, doesn't start. But
she's a mechanic.
Fixes it in 1 second, drives off, and then all of a sudden, for no reason, Ted Danson appears on her roof and busts through the windshield. And okay, so his version of strangling her is for some reason trying to pull down her top. He doesn't go for her neck. He's going for her broad. I'm
All he wants is a feel, Mike. All he wants is a feel.
What is going on? So basically, he tries to pull down Linda's top.
Yeah.
Okay, but before she drives away, before the Mongoloid man even appears, for some reason Linda pulls away from the house after she's locked the gate, mind you.
Yeah.
Pulls away, and then
we see a full view of the car with nothing on it or around it.
Yeah, and then she rams into the gate, opening it. I'm like, well, what the fuck was the point of locking? What was the fucking point of any of this?
To get him off the top of the truck. That's it.
No, but she runs into the gate before the guy appears, Chris. She just runs into the gate. He doesn't even appear.
True.
So for no reason, she just goes, and then hits the gate. Okay, by the way, what direction does she hit that gate?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because think about this. She ends this movie by ramming Ted Danson through that gate that she ran into.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense.
Because wouldn't she be going back to the house?
Yeah, because she hit the gate, so the gate would curl up towards the house.
Here's why. Because she wants to make that fraternity.
But there's no way the gate would bend that way.
Yeah.
Also, it's a wrought iron gate. This thing's not fucking curling or bending or anything to a car. No. She run into that gate and the car just explodes. So, okay, this makes no sense. She rams this Ted Danson man into this thing and impales him. Yeah. And then falls asleep.
On the wheel,
on the horn.
Lays on the horn, falls asleep.
So she just goes, and then, passes out.
And enough time has elapsed that the battery is now dead.
Yeah.
Because the horn is no longer sounding.
She lays on the horn, and we hear the sound of it. We're just going, and then it fades out. Morning. She's still on the wheel. It's fucking morning. And then she gets out of the car and just walks into the lens, and it rolls credits. And I'm like, why the fuck did we need the day shot?
Freeze frame. Yeah.
Think about how little sense this makes. They shot this whole movie at night.
Yeah.
There was a one fucking day scene. But no. They sat around and came back one morning just to fucking shoot that scene. A whole day's worth of setup. Just for a fucking useless scene where she walks out of the car, walks to the camera. You couldn't do that in the night? Mm-hmm. You couldn't just end with a shot of her?
Yeah. Why did we need to have her wake? Why is there a day scene? Why?
I don't know. And it ends.
Yeah.
Recommendation?
No, this is the patience exerted in this is that of Quad Ed Zone.
Okay. How pissed are you to know that they are going to currently remake this movie.
I heard about this. Yeah.
Why?
But
There's-
you know why. You
There's
know
better
why.
shit to remake from
Yeah.
Skinamax.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is...
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And Linda Blair will make a cameo. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, here she's going to be the Mongoloid.
Yeah.
It's a real high-tension scenario, Chris.
Yeah. That would have been great.
But I read online, like, before watching this, it was like, oh, the twist in this movie. And I watched it, I'm like,
what twist?
What fucking twist? What are you talking about? They're
Okay,
like,
here's
the
what-
ending is amazing. What ending? Her falling asleep on a fucking horn?
Here's what the twist. If there were a twist, it would be this. So she falls asleep on the horn, and we see the mongoloid on the rots iron. It's all impaled. We fade to morning, and the body on the fence is now Linda Blair.
Yeah,
that would have
see,
been
there
a
you go.
twist.
Yeah.
That would have been a twist.
Okay. You want to know what the real twist was, Chris? We missed it. After the credits, a bell rings, and her vagina starts talking. And she goes, I'm your own little chatterbox. Imagine if Linda Blair started Chatterbox. It would have been a much better movie.
Would have been. It's possessed. It starts shooting green vomit.
I would have liked it if Linda's talking vagina was more like Brenda from Savage Streets, like a sass talking vagina,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
like a real badass. At one point, it has a switchblade come out of it.
I would see the shit out of that.
Like maybe like Linda's really timid, you know,
Yeah.
and she's like, no, girl, we're taking back what's ours, you know.
What there's a cigarette sticking out of it?
Somebody goes like, "Oh my God, your pants are on fire." She goes, "No, it's a very long story."
It's like a new piercing, a tattoo, a cigarette.
So no recommendation. For
No,
you, huh?
no.
I wouldn't recommend it either, unless you're like obsessive about seeing every Linda movie. As far as Linda's movies go, because there are definitely varying degrees of quality.
Yeah.
It's above Night Patrol.
I would say so.
It's above Night Patrol, below Chained Heat, definitely below Roller Boogie, and obviously Savage Streets is
Right.
that plateau.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, friends, next week's movie, I liked it.
Yeah.
Now, whether you like it or not, we'll see. But it is a terrible movie, but it is very fun.
Yes, looking forward to it.
You hear that sound, Chris?
God damn. How do they find it? How do they find it every time?
No, they're there. They're always following us, Chris.
They are.
They're always there. You know that movie, It Follows?
Yeah.
In our lives, It Follows is a yellow van that follows us around, and sometimes we'll try to get rid of it, but it just keeps coming back, you know? So,
Yeah.
Chris, tell people, if they haven't listened to this before,
If this is your first time listening to the program, this segment we cover how would Bobby and DeVito fit in from a movie we covered our very first episode called The Van from 1977 about a ginger, horny high school graduate who gets a garish yellow van and attempts to rape women inside of it, and his car wash employer, Danny DeVito, who gets into all kinds of mischief with him, is running numbers, all kinds of scams. What would these boys do if they were in the movie Hell Night?
Chris?
Well, they would see this party raging. All these fraternities going on, and they would just get Halloween masks, and they would be the Mongoloids. I think they are the Mongoloids in this movie.
Bobby. There's girls in that house, Bobby.
Yeah.
I saw one of them. She's got a low-cut top. She's ready to go, Bobby. She's ready to go. All we gotta do is dress up like these Mongoloids and just gonna walk in. Look, we'll get a feel. I'll get on top of one of the cars, and when she tries to drive away, I'll just grab.
Thank you. Do you think that was Bobby or DeVito gets killed at the end?
What you didn't see is after those credits, when Linda walked out and her face changed to real sad, what you didn't hear was and all of a sudden this van pulls up in front of this manor, and Bobby goes like, "Oh hey, you look lost."
Oh, now that is a long con right
he
there.
just comes out and he goes,
Oh, you need a ride?
Yeah, the whole con is the Beatles like, all right, Bobby, I'm going to scare this broad. And then in the morning, I assume she's going to fall asleep at the wheel, all right? And look, Bobby, I might need to take one for the team. I might die in this one. But Bobby, when she's broken and in despair, you're going to pick her up in the morning, offer her that joint, offer her that water bed.
A jug of wine. A castor oil.
And Bobby, she's all yours.
So all this is just for Bobby. This is a hell of a sacrifice for DeVito to make. I don't buy it.
Bobby just goes, oh, hey, you look a little lost. You want to ride? You want to have a joint? And she takes one look at the van and she goes, I'll walk. All for nothing. And then DeVito runs out and goes, I got the chloroform. Bobby, we can hire these two mongoloids for $50 to scare this broad. We'll pick up the pieces in the morning.
Yeah, we might break a few eggs, but you know, this is community college. It doesn't matter.
WWBD. What would Bronson do? Sometimes we wonder, what would Charles Bronson do in certain situations? Now, Chris, tell me, what's Bronson going to do if he's in that police station when that bloody kid runs in?
This is easy. The first question he asks is, was there any kind of rape involved?
Well, slow down, son, slow down.
Yeah.
Was there a rape? I don't know, sir. There might have been. Might have worked.
Cut to sirens blasting. Foot slamming down on the gas. And Bronson's silhouette.
I want to see a movie
back.
where Bronson goes up against a mongoloid. Like it would be my dream to see a movie where Bronson faces off against like Michael Myers.
Yeah.
You know?
Jason.
Instead of Donald Pleasance chasing around Michael Myers, it's Bronson. He's like, I'm going to get this son of a bitch. He wouldn't take no shit, though.
No. The gun would do the talking.
It would end with him going, put it in your mouth. Well, thank you again for joining us for another week of Blairvember. Mm-hmm. We have one more for you, everybody. If you want to hear more about us and this show, grindhousefilm.com. Mm-hmm. We're on Twitter at GrindPod.
Yes.
We're on Facebook, Instagram. I think that's about it for the social media. Grindhousefilm.com, though. Join the conversation. There's some people commenting on there. We have more articles, everything else.
And we are always curious as to how you found out about the show, because we don't know where all you people are coming from. We've tried, we've looked, they're coming in droves. We don't know where you're coming. Please let us know how you found the show, and if you would be so kind as to hit that big purple rectangular subscribe button in iTunes, we would be so grateful.
Yes, we do want to know where you people came from, because
in
the month of Blairvember, our listenership has gone up 50%.
Yeah.
Whether we've just attracted diehard Linda Blair fans,
Yeah.
or what the hell has happened.
Linda heads, whatever
We'd like
they
to
are.
know where you came from.
Yeah.
Well, or not. Oh, and by the way, I got to say something. Our offer still stands for if you rate and review this show on iTunes, we'll review your movie. But I got to say, I'm now amending this rule.
Oh.
You got to rate it 5 stars. Because we had one submission, we'll do your movie. But he said, oh, I gave you 4 stars. And I was like, thank you. But in all honesty, if you're going to give us 4 stars, just don't review it. Because it doesn't help. For some reason, it's either, you lose or you win. 1 star or 5 stars.
Yeah.
Anything in between is just shit.
Yeah, it's one of those pay what you think models of when you go to a show and there's a CD, there's a table of CDs, the man's like, oh, pay what you want. And no one's paying full price.
Yeah.
No.
Pay what you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're gonna review that movie, and by the way, it's a Christmas movie, so
oh yeah,
it'll be a fun one.
Yeah.
And it's filling up fast. The month of December has 3 requests already from rate and reviews. So get yours in, because our schedule is fucking filling up fast.
Yeah. Get your fit in, as they would say.
Get your fit in.
And my tutor. Yep. Bobby crashed that van to the fence.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
This book ain't got no real poetry.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all
Angeles. You could